and welcome back to Mads World. I'm your host Mads, and I hope you've been enjoying the podcast so far. If you do like the show, please remember to subscribe, rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or your favourite listening platform, and follow me on Instagram. It's at madsworld.mp3. Back due to popular demand, I am joined this week by my good friend Pip. Pip is passionate about championing diversity in the media landscape, reality TV, and West Ham United. Big up any West Ham fans listening. You guys have submitted the most embarrassing things that have ever happened to you, and for your listening pleasure, I'm going to read through them all in this episode with the lovely Pip, or as I call her, Philpo. Hello, Pip.
Yo, what's good?
What's good? You're meant to say hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, babes. How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I love having you on the podcast. You are back by popular demand from the people of Mads World because they loved our episode about the ick so much.
Fantastic. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who requested me back. Yeah, man. Like, I love the sound of my own voice. So,
what can I say? So do the people of Mads World. Let's do some speed date questions so everyone can get to know you a bit more. And if you do want to hear more about Pip, go back and listen to our episode called The Ick. It's very funny and it is very keeping in theme with this episode. So, first question, what is the last book you read?
I started reading and then I stopped, and I'm now like trying to finish Such a Fun Age.
Oh my God, I was literally going to say this for my one.
I think I recommended that one to you ages ago.
Oh my God.
And then I just never finished it. But yeah, fantastic book. Kylie Reid?
Yeah, fantastic. Honestly, I chewed through this. I was deciding whether to talk about this one or the one I've actually just finished called How Do We Know We're Doing It Right by Pandora Sykes. But I'm so glad you brought up Such a Fun Age because I just wanted to talk about it. I literally read that in 2 days. It is fantastic.
It is a fantastic book. Kylie Reid is such very she's built this world really well. I love the subject matter. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's just basically about this woman who's a babysitter and the woman that she works for and how their lives intertwine, and it's just
it is so good.
Really good. Interesting that you brought up Pandora Sykes because she sort of gives me the ick.
Does she?
She does.
Why? What about her gives you the ick? Because I feel like, don't turn me off her because I really admire her after reading this book.
I'm not going to turn you off her, but I just feel like, so do you have you ever listened to the podcast The High Low?
Well, do you know what? I actually read the book first, and I've listened to a few episodes since I read the book, but I prefer the book and her journalism much more than the podcast, just because I know this is so dumb, but I only like listening to podcasts if they're helping me to educate me for my podcast, or if it's someone that I want to interview and it's like all my podcast listening is now purely work focused.
I mean, get it how you live it. I don't think I was the target audience for The High Low, but somebody recommended it to me. And I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts constantly.
Yeah.
And I think during lockdown, I was just trying to diversify my collection, I suppose. And Dolly Alderton, obviously everybody knows her because of her book.
Love her.
Or books, I should say. And again, another person who was just not very moved. Again, I don't think I'm the target audience. I just find them really annoying. It's oh look, we're privileged women, and
I think the reason I liked her book is because I love books like that, or books like Trick Mirror, which is by, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Gia Tolentino, and they're kind of essays about modern life from the perspective of young women. And the topics of the essays are things like how the wellness industry has been commodified into this just money-making industry, and all about fast fashion and all of the scandal there. And then how we work ourselves to the bone to sort of impress people and to try and find happiness, and just overusing the word empathy and using it in the wrong way. And I don't know, I just found all the different essays just so interesting by her. But yeah, I can understand. I think as I was reading it, there were certain points when I was kind of I don't know if everyone can relate to this, and I don't know if you should be commenting on this, but it was super interesting. So have to give it to her. She is a really brilliant writer.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, this is a thing. I keep being told that she's really good at what she does, and I completely respect that. But I don't know if I can read books like that by someone that I really cannot relate to. So yeah, she gives me the ick.
Well, those people are both on my hit list for people to get on the podcast, so let's hope they never listen to this episode. And if so, sorry, ladies.
Maddie, you can omit this from the episode if you want. Oh my God.
No, it's okay. We're all allowed to have our own opinions. My next question is, who would you want to play you in a movie of your life?
So I found this really, really hard. And then I realized if said movie of my life was going to be like filmed relatively soon, because she is, you know, a little bit older than I am, I would love Regina Hall to play me. So Regina Hall of like the Scary Movie fame.
What did you play in Scary Movie? Was it Brenda?
It's Brenda.
Oh my God, I'm watching 9 Perfect Strangers at the moment on Amazon, and she's in it, and she's amazing.
Yes.
She's so good.
She is, I think she's a fantastic actress. Like, obviously comedy is massively her bag, but she has done like serious bits before. And I think she would really like gauge me and like the nonsense.
Yeah,
and
I totally agree. Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh my God, that is a fantastic choice. I think I would say Katherine Heigl, just because I feel like she's like a gangly white woman with like blonde hair, and she has brown eyes. She looks kind of like me. She's a bit goofy. She's not everyone's cup of tea. I feel like she could just stumble her way through a movie and it would become one of those rom-coms that everyone loves, like 27 Dresses. I think she just encapsulates my vibe.
Bruh. Katherine Heigl?
I know.
I mean, sure.
It's random, I know, but everyone says she looks like me when she was young. So next question, what is your favourite takeaway?
So I had to have a long deep think about this. My favourite takeaway easily is Chinese. I don't like to admit it because I feel like it's such a basic takeaway.
It's so good though.
But I love Chinese. I've been very blessed that everywhere I've lived near a very good Chinese takeaway.
That is good.
And it's like, also, like now where I live, I can either do like, you know, your standard greasy Chinese takeaway, or I can do like, you know, proper like Szechuan noodles or dim sum, or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, and I think anything tastes good if it's deep fried with 5 spice and salt. I'm sorry, but I just want everything I eat to be rolled in some flour and some 5 spice and some salt and then fried in a pan. Whether it's tofu, whether it's a calamari. I nearly said a cucumber. No, not a cucumber.
A
calamari,
cucumber.
a prawn, a beef, a chicken, anything. I like it all.
Yeah. So
it's for me.
Very much like a sweet and sour prawn ball will do me, or even a steamed prawn dumpling, a char siu, like a, you know,
a har gao,
like a har gao,
a har gao, baby,
chicken chow mein.
Stop, Pip.
Like I'm fucking starving.
It's so good. To be honest, I would eat any takeaway. Like there's always something for me in every like food genre or food culture. I feel like if I'm going out with a guy or even with a friend who's fussy about their takeaway, like they're like, oh, I don't like pizza, or I don't like this, or I don't like Indian food or whatever. I'm like, there is so many things you can get. Like you can just create something that you will enjoy. I don't get this fussy takeaway culture. It's all good.
I've just never been a fussy eater. Like never. And you know, like the idea of my children being fussy eaters really terrifies me.
Scary.
Because like, you know, like those baby books that your mum fills out, like mine basically said Philippa's favourite food is everything, but she doesn't like egg.
Oh really?
And which is really funny, because ask any Ghanaian or any African who knows Ghanaian people, we love eggs, right? But like now as an adult, I can't get enough of fucking eggs. Boiled egg, fried egg, scrambled egg, poached eggs.
All the eggs.
I could have eggs on the side of almost any meal.
Fertilized eggs.
No, none of that, please. Thank you very much.
Not yet, anyway.
I've just started a new job. I need 26 weeks in service before I can get pregnant.
God. On the countdown.
Oh no, Mummy, I'm not on the countdown. I promise.
Oh my God. Right. Next question. What is your favourite family tradition?
This is a really interesting question. I don't know. I'm torn between Christmas mornings where my mum makes these like massive fuck off brunches, which are just absolutely ridiculous. And my older brother always gets upset and is like, you've cooked too much food. And my mum always gets like really upset that he's like criticizing how much food she's cooked. And me and my younger brother are just trying to eat everything to like stop an argument so there's no waste and no one feels bad.
Good situation to be in, I'm not gonna lie.
It's delightful. It's like, it's great. Anything you want. You want pancakes, they're there. You want, bagels and cream cheese and salmon, it's there.
I'll be over on Christmas morning. Let me come over.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I'm joking.
Oh my God. I think, what was your other favourite family tradition? You said there was two.
And the other one is so when my mum and my older brother were like at home, she always used to watch like Pretty Woman with him. Don't ask me why. Film about prostitutes. I think I've told you this before, but like when my brother was like living abroad for a few years, when he'd come home, he'd be like, "Welcome to Hollywood." We'd be like, "What's your dream?" I just love that.
Everybody's got a dream. What's your dream?
What's your dream? Welcome to Hollywood. But so we used to do that a lot, but we don't do that anymore. But I'd like to bring that back.
Bring it back. There's nothing stopping you. It's a great movie.
It is a great film.
I think my favourite family tradition is we always do sushi platter on Christmas Eve. And I know that sounds weird for anyone English out there, but it's hot. It's hot in Australia. It's like 35 degrees and Mum's got to do all the cooking in the kitchen the next day. So we just buy a massive sushi platter, sit out on the balcony. The birds are chirping, the cicadas are making that noise that they make. The pool's going, the dog's there, and just a little sushi platter. It's divine.
I dig that. Oh. So, like, do you still have, like, a roast on Christmas Day?
It's not usually a roast. In Australia, it's more like you would do barbecue. You'd put, like, a piece of meat on the spit outside because it's simply too hot to have the oven on if it's, like, 35, 38 degrees. Like, it's the dead center of summer. It's too hot. But, yeah, I think – and sometimes you might, like, make the roast early on, like, days before or buy it, and then you have, like, a cold cut. So you'd have, like, cold ham or cold – whatever, because it's like nice with a salad,
Yeah. It'd be strange to do like an Aussie Christmas, but I dig that. I dig traditions.
Yeah, I thought it was strange my first English Christmas because obviously I've never had it snow or anything close to that. But yeah, it was very weird. It felt weirdly traditional, even though I'd never done it. But it definitely made me miss Aussie Christmas because you can just go in the pool. So, So this brings me to my last question. Favorite movie you could watch 100 times over, and you cannot say Pretty Woman because we just talked about it.
Bring It On.
Oh, that is a classic. I love Bring It On.
Easy. So sorry. Bring It On. It's I
think mine's Mean Girls. I know it's basic as, but I honestly, anytime you put it on, I could have watched it yesterday. I'll just whop it on and I'm happy. I love it.
Look, listen, it's just films that you can, say like word for word and make you feel happy. I remember the first time I watched it, I think we were staying at my nan's for like a sleepover or whatever. I think my mum was going out. And I think we were told that we could watch one like pay-per-view film. And my brother allowed me to choose Bring It On, and then we recorded it, and it was fucking glorious.
And when you record it, you've got it forever, Pip.
You've got it forever. And then that recording went missing, but then Channel 4, like years later, did it. So I recorded it again. And then years later, I ended up actually being a cheerleader. Like, so it was just like, it was sick.
Oh my God, I forgot about that part, that time in your life. So random, but I love it. Well, this brings us to today's theme for the episode. And today's theme is just funny, embarrassing stories. So I asked all of you listeners out there to submit your most embarrassing stories, like whether they're sexual, whether they're non-sexual, whether they're non-romantic. We're completely going from the love and dating theme of the podcast today. We just want to hear about people's embarrassing stories. So I thought I would start with a story that I heard. So I'm not actually going to say an embarrassing story about me today because I do that on every podcast episode. This is just one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. And basically, when I was in Budapest, I was in this hostel with this guy, total basket case, but absolute legend. Let's call him Joe. So Joe told me a story about how one time he got food poisoning from a restaurant and someone in a hostel was like to him, here, take this medicine, it will fix your stomach. It's all written in Hungarian. I know you can't read it, but it definitely is for making a tummy ache and like having the shits and throwing up, making that feel better. He was like, amazing. Okay, he loved this. So he like OD'd on these like pretend sickness medicine tablets and ended up, he's in bed in the hotel or the hostel in Budapest, and he couldn't even roll over in bed without shitting himself. So he stood up and he just shit himself. He walked into the shower. He's shitting himself the whole way. He's like, oh my God. He felt like he was being turned inside out. He spent the whole night just like fetal position on the floor of the shower and ended up taking the medicine to a friend the next day who could speak Hungarian and was like, what the hell is this stuff? Like, this is not medicine that made me feel less sick. And he reads it. He's like, did you take this? He's like, yeah. He goes, this is vagina dilation medicine for when pregnant women are giving birth. So it dilated his butthole to like a fist size. So all the poo just fell out of his bum.
I have so many fucking questions. It gets
worse, Pip. And then he goes, oh no. And the guy goes, what? He's like, I just gave this to a whole busload of people getting a non-stop bus to Germany for travel sickness.
What? So where did he get this from?
Some person at the hostel gave it to him as sickness medicine, like for tummy sickness, and then he gave it to a whole bus of people on a non-stop bus to Germany. So they would all have dilated buttholes on the way to Germany. Couldn't get off the bus.
Oh, God.
It's just my favourite story ever.
I don't know if I believe that, because, like, surely if you had to dilate your vagina, it would be for things for, like, you know, it would tackle hormones that only women have like a large amount of. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, Pip. I just don't believe this person would give me this much graphic detail about how he had to crawl to the toilet, the giant bumhole.
But I'm trying to make sure that this isn't real, because, like, if it's real, then I feel ill. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want this to be fake. I don't want to think about the fact that someone's asshole dilated to 10 centimeters.
It did, Pip. It did, and he wouldn't have told me this if it wasn't true, because why would you subject yourself to that humiliation?
Oh, my Lord.
So that's my favourite embarrassing story ever. So I wanted to know if you had a good embarrassing story, and obviously nothing is going to come up against the bottom story.
Nothing is going to be that bad. All I've got is that. So when we were... No. Before I worked at the place that we met at, I was one of their clients. So I used to go there every Wednesday. And as you'll remember, there is a spiral staircase in the middle of the building. Stupidly narrow. Don't understand why it's like that. One day I am talking to somebody who reps me, and we're having a conversation near the stairs, and Maddie, I tumbled.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I fell down the entire flight of stairs.
Ow!
It was so embarrassing, so painful. Also, like, the COO came over, the chief operating officer, came over and was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, yes, I'm fine. Then a crowd formed. And you know, you're just like, oh God, I cannot.
Yeah, and do you know what the worst thing is? When you fall over, and it's already really embarrassing, but you're also in loads of pain and you need to, like, pretend like you're not in pain.
I don't think my hip has ever been the same.
Oh my God, that is the worst. And you want to look tough or look cool or something and try to, like, walk it off, but you're like, you're holding back tears.
It's just so embarrassing, because obviously, like, I was the person who was going to be there every Wednesday and then eventually every day.
Oh God,
yeah.
Not the one. Well, thank you for sharing your delightful story. I now have some submissions from people out there listening to read through, which are, some of them are, do you know what? They're all different genres, but they're very random. So I'm just going to do my best to read through them. We're going to do the voice disguiser, which everyone loves on this podcast. I'm just going to start. So
I went on a date with a Laura and called her Lauren all night. She ended the night by saying she didn't want to meet again and that I should probably go call Lauren.
No.
Do you know what? That's your own fucking fault.
Honestly, and like in this day and age, you probably met on a dating app, so you should probably check her fucking name before you go out with her. No.
I feel sorry for Laura's and Laurens and stuff like that because I can imagine that happens quite often.
Yeah, and do you know what really grinds my gears? When someone on a work email spells your name wrong, and my email is maddy dot whatever. It's like the clue is literally in the name. Don't put an IE on the end of my fucking name when it's too much. I mean, Philpo, I didn't know whether it was 2 L's or 2 P's for a long, long time, and I just used to flip between. I mean, I'm sorry.
My favourite cousin still misspells my name. So, like, it's just never... I've known her my entire life. She's known me for 29 years, and she still doesn't know how to spell my name.
Oh, my God. Right, here's our next submission.
I slipped and fell in elephant pee.
I have so many questions.
Oh, girl.
Where?
They were probably, like in a Southeast Asian country, in a sanctuary.
Drugged up elephants?
No, not the drugged up ones, although I do, to my regret, have a experience with drugged up animals.
God, same. It's awful and I regret it.
It's so bad and I regret it. I've deleted all of the photos off my social media. It's just really not the most, when it's just a dark time in your life.
Yeah, and also when you're young and you just don't know and then you find out later and you're kind of like, oh God, was that tiger really on ketamine? Okay, I feel bad.
Well, yes, it was because I had my whole head in its mouth. What?
Obviously I get.
But now it's less of that and it's more like the elephant sanctuaries where they wash the mud off their bum.
Yeah.
And, all that sort of stuff. So maybe they were there and they were walking or maybe trying to run after someone and they slipped and they had a cartoon,
Yeah, like a banana peel forward.
Yeah.
And elephant pee, that's a puddle, that's a lake. That's not
gross.
A small, that's a lake.
Oh, and it's mad yellow and it stinks. Oh, I feel so bad for you. That is
me too.
Horrendous.
Right, here's our next one.
Was out of hospital for 4 minutes, tripped up a curb just outside the emergency room, broke my ankle and tore ligaments, had to turn around and walk back into the emergency room.
That the head nurse behind the desk thinks you're a dickhead.
Just shaking her head come on, bro.
What are you doing here? Is this a person in Oz or the UK?
Actually New Zealand, I think this submission was.
I don't know what the healthcare situation is.
It's gorgeous. It's amazing.
I was going to say, I hope you didn't have to pay for that because that is unfortunate. Do you know what I mean?
We're not in the US, bro. We look after everyone down the Antipodean world.
I'm raising my fist in solidarity.
Oh, God.
Anna and Bevan would be all for it. Yeah.
Here's the next one.
In Year 6, we did a project on influential people in the world. I got Gandhi. We had to dress up as our person and read a speech for a guess who I am type thing in front of the whole class and parents. I was even in a bald cap, sheet wrapped around me, the whole thing. Got up to give my speech and the sheet got caught and fell to the floor. I only had Speedos underneath.
Oh.
Little bald child.
How old were you?
Only 12.
Oh, God.
Imagining them looking like Dobby with bald head, tiny skinny legs and just naked in a little rag.
Oh, my God. I just externally cringe.
I know.
Because I'm thinking about me, my school at that age, little school in the East London Essex border, where we're not very nice to each other, and
my God,
you would be named Speedo for the rest of your school career.
Or Dobby.
Dobby is a free elf.
Dobby has such Gandhi vibes. I'm not gonna lie. He's got the sheet on. He's got the bald head.
Oh, God bless you. Rest in perfect peace, Dobby.
I thought you were going to say Gandhi. I'm I think he's alive.
Gandhi's dead, bro.
Oh, God. Rest in peace, Dobby and Gandhi.
Are you fucking kidding me? No, sorry. No, hold on. We're not ignoring that. We're going... No,
go past it.
No, we're not going past it. Gandhi died in the 30s. What are you talking about?
Wait, no. I'm thinking of Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa is also dead. She died in 1997
No, she's
or 96.
Not.
She fucking died years ago. What are you talking about?
That's so sad. No, I swear there's colour pictures of Gandhi out there. He couldn't have died in the 30s because I've seen a colour picture.
Okay, do you know what? I'm going to do what I do with my entire family. When there is a debate, I'm going to fact check this.
Fact check it.
It's so funny. Like, Bobby, my boyfriend, is like, why do you always get Google out? And I was like, because it's the only way to settle an argument in my family.
What did people do in the 90s when there was no Google? Or in the 80s?
You just argued, or you got an encyclopedia out. You got
yes.
out.
Oh my
God. He died in 1948.
1948, right. Well, they definitely had colour cameras then, but it's a little bit later than I thought, considering I thought he was still alive. So rest in peace, Gandhi. Rest in peace, Dobby. Rest in peace, Mother Teresa.
I'm not going to say rest in peace, Gandhi, because he was a little bit racist. But,
was he?
Yeah, like, I hate this moment in time where information is too readily available, because
it's everywhere.
People that you were taught to, like, admire as kids, you find out things about them, you're just like, oh, shit. Like,
shit,
if I was
bro.
around back then, like, shit then, you'd hate me.
Bed.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
but yeah,
God.
Gandhi apparently a little bit of a sleazebag towards women.
Oh my God.
A racist.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. You either die young enough to remain the hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Oh my God. He didn't even live long enough. He died just 60 years ago.
Maddie, the 40s were longer than 60 years ago.
Wait, no, they weren't.
Oh my God.
Wait, what? Oh, wait, 60. Yeah. Okay, yeah, look. My brain thinks that 1980 was 20 years ago, hon. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm alone in thinking that. Can you believe
not the year 2000?
1980s. Yeah, 1980s, nearly 40 years ago, but my brain still thinks it's 20 years ago. So anyway, we digress. That was a very, very thought-provoking submission. Thank you. So the next submission is, their most embarrassing moment is
everyday living since being born.
Oh, babe.
That's so depressing.
You need to talk to someone about that.
Oh, God. I love that one from them. So here's the next one.
One of my best guy mates stopped by for a cup of tea, but I was busy womanscaping my cha-cha. I had all my clippings on a neat tissue in the bathroom. When he arrived, I put on a robe and let him in. Halfway through his cuppa, he went to the bathroom, but I had forgotten to put the pubes into the bin. Not only did he see them, but I left them on the closed toilet lid on the tissue, meaning he had to move them off of the lid to pee.
No.
Is this someone we know?
Yeah, someone I know, yeah. Oh, God.
First of all, I've got several questions, okay? Right. First things first. Ladies, let's normalize calling our vagina a vagina. Or actually, to be technically correct, your mons pubis, your pubic area, because your vagina's inside you, right?
That's what I was going to say. Like, you can't call it a vagina because that's the inside part.
Yeah. So yeah, I corrected myself. Don't worry. The point is, your pubic area. Why are you calling it a fucking cha-cha?
Because it's a cha-cha. It's a
cha-cha slide. Do you know what? I was like really strangely thinking about this the other day, because like child rearing is due to happen soon. But like, why? No, I'm not pregnant. Behave. Okay. But like, behave. Why do people give such strange names to like your private parts?
I don't know.
I'm not letting my child call her private parts like
a cha-cha,
a nunny. I hate that. It's so annoying. That is such an Essexy thing. It makes me so ill. And it's like, you're nun for sure. No.
But imagine a little kid running through the playground saying vagina. I'm not about that, you know.
I don't care. No, call it a vagina. Because I have, at my big age, friends who don't like saying the word vagina.
Yeah, grow up, Hans. Time to grow up. Do you know what really cringes me out? When people call it their fairy.
That's another very British one. And it's like, no.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, I digress. So that's my first problem. My second problem is, so she was like grooming it into a tissue. I don't understand why she groomed it into the tissue.
So it goes on the floor otherwise, and you need to go around and scoop them all up after.
So, like, my thing is, like, why not the bath? Or if you want to stand, maybe do it over the toilet so you can flush it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to be called into question here, and I'm going to have to message this person after and get some more info.
But I don't think that's a big problem. That's just me being like easy clean up, just being able to get rid of it pretty relatively quickly. But my third thing is, if someone like rings the doorbell and you come and say, hello, come in, you know what you've just been doing. So I would then go back into the bathroom and remove. I don't know how you get so distracted. Did they bring you a massive bag of Tim Tams?
Amazing.
Like, you know.
It was an Australian person, so yes.
I know it was an Australian person.
Why? Because they said cha-cha.
Yeah, because they said cha-cha, because no British person would say that.
Oh, my God. Our next submission, I'm going to throw her under the bus here. It's Sam. Sam's submission.
No, don't throw her under the bus.
No, it's okay because it's also about me. So this next submission, it happened to us both. So I'm going to read it out. I've embellished the story from Sam's submission because it's really funny. So,
in uni, we had an assignment to reenact an iconic public speech. I went first and chose to reenact the toast from the movie Bridesmaids. I got through the entire speech and had just sung Dionne Warwick's That's What Friends Are For to the entire class. Afterwards, everyone else had chosen Martin Luther King, Winston Churchill, Nelson Mandela, etc. And we only just passed by, like, the skin of our teeth.
I want to understand.
Okay, so...
why at university assignments about speeches where clearly the gravitas of your speech is going to go to your grade.
Yeah.
Why a speech from not even like the speech from Jerry Maguire, not even like the speech from like, I don't know, like if Rocky has a speech, like not even a speech from a film where it's like, oh, there's like a big poignant moment, like the speech from What's Love Got to Do With It, where, you know, Tina Turner says all her life she had to fight. Like, the point is, why I love Bridesmaids, okay? Bridesmaids is very high on replay value for me.
Yeah.
What possessed that choice? What was the thought process behind that?
It said iconic, and so me and Sam was like, you know what's iconic? Bridesmaids. It's just come out of the movies.
No, it's not iconic.
Because it is.
Is it a great film? Yes, but it doesn't top like people's top 10 film. It's not iconic.
Oh my God. So I had to play like one of the people, like the other friend sitting in the corner. And then Sam's there with the mic going, keep smiling, keep shining. And she sang the whole thing and the whole no one clapped. And the tutor, like the teacher lady, was like, yeah, I think you missed the mark a little bit with this one. And we just sat down and someone starts reciting I Have a Dream. And we were like, oh, iconic.
For God's sake.
So, yeah, that was a good one for me and Sam. So, thanks, Sam, for that submission.
Thank you, Sam. That's embarrassing, babes.
It's embarrassing.
That's real embarrassing, hon.
Right, here's the next one.
I tried to have a three-way with my coworker and his girlfriend by getting into their bed naked after a party.
So that was the whole submission, and I'm assuming, because it's an embarrassing moment, that you failed at the three-way.
They definitely said no. Do you know what's really funny about this story?
Yep.
Is that I can link it to an embarrassing story from someone very senior at where we used to work. I won't say names.
Ooh, we're going to talk about this later.
But the story, I'll tell the story because I'm not saying names, so it's not a problem.
Yep.
But basically, he and his manager went on a night out. I think it was like a big team night out. And he was living in a town/city far away from where we work. So she said, you can stop over at mine. So like got very drunk. She set him up in the spare room and he like took all of his clothes off and went to bed. In the middle of the night, he needed a slash. So he got up, went to wee. He got back into a bed.
No.
Yes.
No.
And he went snuggled in, got into sleep. He felt a tap on his shoulder and it was his manager's husband. I was like, think you've gotten in the wrong bed, mate. And he was stark bollock naked.
Why would you get naked to sleep at someone else's house, let alone your boss?
Like, I don't know, but he was he was very drunk.
Oh no.
Yeah, but that story just reminded me of that.
Wow, that's a stunning little story. So thank you to that person for letting us share, even though you have no idea about the podcast. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they are listening. Maybe they're like, that sounds familiar.
I hope you are listening, hun.
Let's message him and tell him to listen.
Yeah.
Right, here's the next one.
Call the teacher mum. Never forget.
Everyone did this and it's fucking mortifying.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Am I just... Because I feel like everything is embarrassing, but I feel like I've called a teacher mum before and just gotten over it.
Nah, you don't ever get over that. Imagine everyone hearing going, bah, call the teacher mum. Bah.
Yeah, I don't think everyone heard me. I think I was handing her a piece of homework.
Oh,
and she said,
yeah.
oh, thank you. And I went, no problem, mum. And I was like, oh, I mean, Miss North.
Yeah,
Oops.
but the fact that you remember it shows that it's embedded yourself deep in your brain and you're going to remember it forever and be humiliated for the rest of your life.
Why do you want that for me?
Because it's clearly true if you remember the exact situation. I don't barely remember anything from primary school, but I remember that.
How do you know that? First of all, how do you know it was in primary school?
Because obviously it was.
I mean, it was. But secondly... And secondly, like, I just remember random things. I remember that I had in reception, I had a teacher called Mrs. Churchhouse, and she used to wear these massive jazzy jumpers.
Love that for her. She sounds like my kind of girl.
I think she's dead.
Oh, R.I.P. Gandhi, Dobby, Mrs. What's her name, and Mother Teresa.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. I've got the sillies on this app. Oh, thank God this is our last submission.
Failed a drug test for a job, so I said I got spiked.
Now, this was a submission from a friend of mine, and like, firstly, like, for me, it's just funny because I vaguely know what she did. She's an acquaintance from school, but we still keep in touch with each other here and there.
Yeah.
And I vaguely know what the sort of things that she did, but like, I'd never known anybody who's had to drug test for work.
Yeah,
and
me
I think
neither.
the majority of people that I know would have to give up their social lives. And she just said that basically when the woman was like, yeah, you tested positive, she was like, oh my God, really? and the woman was like, yeah. And she was just like, someone must have spiked me. I know I went out over the weekend and like I had everyone, but I didn't do anything like knowingly. And I did like wake up really weird, but like, oh my God, that's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. I can't believe that someone spiked me with those awesome drugs. Oh my God, I was having a really fun time and I wondered why, but yeah.
I wondered why.
That's like, crazy,
I was
man.
up until like 7 a.m. Oh dear.
Oh God, that is so good. Right, well, that is the last of the embarrassing story submissions. And Pip, this has been a delightful episode. I'm so happy that you've come back on the pod and the people listening will be too. So
can we do another one soon?
We can. If you have a episode idea for me and Pip, please submit it through my website, it's madsworld.co, or through my Instagram, it's madsworld.mp3. So yeah, me and Pip will come up with another spicy little ep for you all.
Amazing.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming, my Pip.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Pip. Please let me know on my Instagram, it's at madsworld.mp3, or on my website, madsworld.co, if you have any stories or thoughts of your own to share. Love and elbow taps. Peace.